Lions tour for 2021 still remains with a bit of a question mark about what's going to happen with it. However, we did have news out a couple of days ago that one of the options which Rugby Australia had brought forward, which was to host the competition in Australia, has been officially kind of declined, rejected, ruled out, whichever news source you looked at kind of had it a different way. But either way, Australia is not going to be one of the options going forward. Australia's advantage, I guess, was with the COVID situation over there, as they were saying, kind of, they can host with capacity crowds. I think they were saying at least 50% and probably more like kind of sellout grounds, depending on the COVID situation over there. And they were going to underwrite the competition, basically, to say if there's anything that happens with, they suddenly go into lockdown, then they will cover the losses. So they were kind of willing to gamble that things would go well. They'd have an 8-game tour in Australia, and they'd make some money. But that's been ruled out. It's been rejected. It's been declined. That leaves us with 4 options apparently still on the table for the 2021 tour. Obviously, they all have their own advantages, and they've all got a few things which are kind of not optimal about them, but we're going to have to wait and see. Apparently, by the end of the month, we should know, as I say this, what is it today, the 9th of March? By the end of March, we should find out what's going to happen with the tour. The last option being to cancel it. That's, I don't know if that's the least likely option. I don't think anybody wants that to happen, although I have seen actually a few people who have said, man, this is a pandemic, this is not worth it. Some things have got to give, but I think for the most part, people are keen to find some kind of alternative, especially South African fans, because for us down here, we only get this once every 12 years, which is crazy. The first option that they're looking at, and apparently this is still the favorite, is to proceed with the tour to South Africa. The main drawback with this option is there will, in all likelihood, be no fan attendance or potentially very, very limited small fan attendance. Obviously, there'll be no traveling fans either. I don't think any option has traveling fans, which is at the heart of the Lions tours. But again, pandemic. What are you going to do? So the good thing about this is obviously South Africans get to see it in their own backyard. You get to see it at grounds like Loftus, not Newlands, but Ellis Park and whatnot. So you get to keep the original itinerary. All the midweek games are still the original teams as intended. You still get your Lions tour. South African players get to play in South Africa. It's only once every 12 years for these guys, so it'd be weird for them to have it anywhere else. But that's option number 2, which is to proceed with the UK and Ireland as a potential place to host it. Now, apparently this has got a bit of a boost recently because Boris Johnson has come out and said in terms of Britain's lockdown plans for exiting the lockdown, they're aiming for late June. With the vaccination rollout and whatnot, they should be able to kind of get gatherings back in, but there's no guarantees, man. No guarantees what's going to happen. So I think the no guarantees thing is what's a bit disconcerting for the organisers, in that, unlike the Aussie option, as yet there's no kind of guarantee that if things were to not go ahead as planned and they weren't able to have fans, they're not going to get that kind of same money. They need apparently 25% fan attendance to have it in the UK and still make money. So if it was to be decided that, hey, it's July and we don't have the vaccinations going through as planned, or for whatever reason there's a new variant or whatever the hell happens, if we still can't have fans, then they'll be running at a loss, which is not what they want. So but that's option number 2. Option number 3 is to postpone through till 2022. But apparently, at least depending on which media outlet you read, I've tried to read the Aussie media, the South African media, and the UK Ireland media, to get a bit of a differing opinions. Apparently, this is the least preferred option because the home unions really don't want the 2022 fixtures, which have already been planned, to be affected. So everyone's kind of looking after their own best interest, which is what they, should be doing. Us fans who want to see the Lions tour go ahead, I guess maybe don't always get that. Not everyone else has necessarily got the Lions tour as their number 1 priority. Everyone's got to look at their own bottom line in these times. But and I said the other option is to cancel. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But either way, Australia is off the table. That one is not going to happen. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Like I said, by the end of the month, we should know which option they're going with. Supposedly, the front runner is to have the tour in South Africa with limited to no attendance. But we will have to wait and see how things go. Maybe the UK government comes through and decides to, guarantee something, and then they can organise it in the UK. I'm still pretty torn because obviously I like the idea of having a crowd. But then to have the Lions tour away from the touring aspect just seems like madness. I don't know. We'll wait and see. My least preferred option would to see it be cancelled, obviously, because you only get to see the Lions once every 4 years. And, there's South African players who, if this Lions tour, you very rarely get, 12 years, such a long time, you won't get a second chance to play the Lions. There's so many guys who've never played the Lions who will never get a chance to play the Lions. Obviously, in the pandemic, all these things are kind of small issues, but as rugby fans, for us, these are pretty big talking points. Anyway, one benefit of moving house is when I cleaned up all my stuff, I found that Lions tour bit of cardboard from the 2005 tour, back when I was a student working at the local supermarket when the Lions tour was about to be over, and they were tidying up all the old stock and displays. I got my box cutter and whipped that off and apparently put it in a box, which I haven't opened in a very, very long time. But there you go. Been collecting rugby stuff since long before YouTube was in existence. But anyway, you guys let me know what you reckon. Preferred option for the Lions tour. Would you rather see it go ahead in South Africa with few to no fans? Do you think the hell that just cancel it? You guys let me know your thoughts. Talk to you guys soon. See you later.